Oh, I'm offline. Refresh. Hello. Welcome, everyone. Just getting live here. It looks like it's 7 o'clock here on Monday, January 17th. Day 1 of the featured stamper for Erin Lopez for the Hats Off bundle. I'm just going to refresh my computer here. Oh, and of course I have no internet. You know, why, oh why? Why, oh why? Looks like I'm trying to look for my computer here so I can look at video or comments. Okay, looks like I'm back up. So thanks for being patient. How is everybody? It looks like I have 3 people watching me right now. Oh, I don't know what's more nerve-wracking, doing this by yourself and recording it, or having go live and having people watching you live. It's more interactive that way, but there we go. It looks like I have 4 people. All right, so I don't want to wait too long. And I don't have any, I can't see any comments. I know that that's been a problem with some other people that I watch, but we'll just kind of go from there. So, oh, there it is. Oh, thanks, Heather. You know, it is what it is. We're all human, right? So I'm going to go ahead and get started because I don't want to have those people watching the replay have to listen to all the pre-chat, but thanks for joining me. For those of you who don't know, my name is Erin Lopez and I am part of the BZB Hive Stampers, and I've been a part of the group for many years. We won't go into all that, but a long time. And so I'm really excited to be here today to show you some fun projects all week for the Hats Off bundle. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip my camera around to my workspace, so give me just a minute. Let's see here, I'm trying to be smooth and not so smooth at the same time. I got a new camera holder for Christmas, so we're gonna see if I can get it to work. You don't want to look at my nose, I promise you that. Sorry about that. We'll fix that for tomorrow. Okay, there we go. Hi, Barb. Thanks for watching live, and thanks for those on the replay. Okay, I'm sorry there's a glare, but that's what happens when you have ring lights. Here we are. So Hats Off bundle. Didn't know what to do. Barb wanted us to focus on the annual catalog because we get so wrapped up in all the new exciting stuff. And I have had this bundle since the catalog went live in the pre-order, and I haven't used it yet, you guys. How many of you are like that? I just, you know, get all excited about all these wonderful, fun new products that we see in the product premiere and everything, and then I don't play with it, or something new comes along. So here is what I have tonight. I have the Hats Off bundle, and it's gotten lots of love this week, so I'm really excited. It is on page 47 here in the catalog. You can get it, obviously, individually. It's still in the bundle, which is nice, so you can still get that 10% savings. And it's the stamp set itself is really inexpensive. It's $17, and you get 15 of the photopolymer stamps. So they're photopolymer, which is nice, especially when you see as we put these projects together. It's really nice, and it's pretty much essential to have clear stamps when you're doing something like this, like a builder. And then the dies, I have mine on a magnetic card. You get a bundle of dies. Let's see how many are in here. 15 for $35 for the bundle. I don't know how much it is separately. $159. That part I didn't have, but you're going to want to buy them together right now while you still can, because it's, you know, it's essential. You kind of can't have one without the other. Yeah, the dies are 22. So it's a pretty reasonable set when you look at it. $35 for the bundle. That's pretty reasonable. They have these little tiny emblems that you can put, different patches for the front of the hat. This hat is pretty decent sized. If you can see, it's about the size of my hand. And it's got all that wonderful stitching that we all love. And these here, I'll show you the best way to die cut these out, but these are, they have the outline and then they have the stitching, and I'll show you that on our project. So There is a little bit of a learning curve, but not a whole lot. This little die is really cute. I've only found one project so far because I just love the big one, because these are also don't fit on that little one, but you'll see one later this week with that. Oh, actually, I need those out. That's why they're on a card. Okay, let's go ahead and jump right in. Let's see. I had a really tough day at work today, and I don't know why, but I chose to do the hardest project, the more involved project first, and now I kind of wish I hadn't, but let's go ahead and get moving on it and get it out of the way, right? So, I saw this on Pinterest by Crafty Daily Dose by Vitrans. I wanted to give her the shout out because I saw this, and if you Google or Pinterest hats off die, you will see this. So it's not an original design, but I wanted to figure out how it worked because I loved how it used the, again, dies I haven't used yet, the Give It a Whirl dies. And you can turn it and you can see I'm your biggest fan. I had a little trouble with my heat embossing because I didn't use my, what do you call it? Embossing buddy. So anyway, so this is how we are going to do our first project. Pretty cute. I don't have the inside done. So let's get started. I have everything all pre-done and I had it all in front of me. Okay. So the one thing I didn't do on this, which I wish I had done, was I wish I had stamped the hat, so that you can see all the wonderful detail on the hat, because you will see when we go along, that the hat stamp is really cute in and of itself. How many of you have this bundle? Anybody have this bundle? Like I said, I really want it. We are a baseball family. My son has been playing baseball since t-ball. And so I had a hard time getting away from just baseball. So, but, you know, it kind of leads itself to this. I think they should have a separate one. Wouldn't it be fun to have another one? It's a complimentary one that had different, other different little emblems to go on there, or some female ones, you know, not just baseball. All right, so here's the clear, hi Trudy, here's the clear stamp. So you can see, so the nice thing is with the clear stamps is they cut out all the rubber or the photopolymer, so you're not going to get that impression on your project, which is nice, because nothing worse than having those halos. Get your foam mat out though, because you're going to want to have a good impression. You have it, but you haven't used it yet. I'm in the same boat. Well, let's get it out there, Trudy. I'm using Night of Navy ink, and this paper is from the Hey Sports Fan. We don't really have anything denim-y, so I thought, well, we'll use the Hey Sports Fan. And so what you're going to want to do is ink that up, stamp it really good, and it gives a nice impression. You can see that. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut this sucker out. All right. So, I just got this for Christmas. It's so wonderful. I don't know why it took me so long to get it, and the mini is wonderful. Okay. So, we're going to cut this out first. Now, here's one of the tricks, especially since we don't have a magnetic plate. What you're going to want to do is line up, I don't know if you can see this, you're going to want to line up this corner here of the hat and the top and the side, the little button here at the top and the side over here. Just kind of, the lines kind of fit in there. I have to move it because of the glare of the camera. Here, I'll show you though. And then the best thing that you're going to want to do, there, so you can kind of see, is invest in some Post-it tape or some really good Post-it notes. Those super sticky Post-it notes. I found those at Target, and Fred Meyer had them. But the Post-it tape is really good. You just cut a little piece off. And you're going to hold down this end over here and this end over here, because since it's not a, we don't have the magnetic thing, it's going to, the magnetic plate, it's going to go ahead and it might shift a little bit, and you don't want to have your stitching off. So, and this is the one thing I'm still learning, is how to get this thing going and on camera. So first we're going to cut out the hat. hat itself. And I just saved these little guys, put them on top of my machine here, because we're going to need them again. And you will see, so you can see the difference of this hat here, how you can kind of see some of the detail of the hat, and this one that I did before. You can't really, the stitching doesn't really pop much because it has, doesn't have the lines to kind of define it. So I recommend you stamp it first. Next, we need to cut out the window. And you're going to take the dies and you're just going to take whichever one you want. And I used this little swipey one here. And you're going to want to just lay that, kind of center it. The nice thing is, see there's how the line stops here and the line stops here. Your die fits right there in between there. So you won't see, if you put a little emblem on there, you won't see that gap in the stamp image. Okay. And then we're going to just run that through again. Where did I find the Post-it tape? I found it on Amazon. Just search Post-it tape. It's the best thing ever. I've looked in the stores and I haven't found it. Post-it tape is the best. Hi, Heather, by the way. Okay, so now we have our hat. So we have our window. Okay. Next, we're going to do the whirly part. This was very intimidating to me, and I don't want it to be intimidating for you guys, so I'm going to show you how to do it. First I got out, ooh, I don't like crookedness, sorry. So first I got out we're going to do the birch on the outside here of our. So what I just did was I took a little bit of adhesive and stuck it down on my mat here, because you're going to layer this anyway. I used crumb cake on crumb cake paper. This just adds a little bit of dimension. You don't have to do it, but you know. And press real hard. Anybody else have like hard? I need to get like something to really push that down. All right, so there we have our background. That's super simple. Now, I've pre-cut a few of the pieces to give it a roll dies, which I have right here. Who has these? I actually like them more for all the different little clouds and the stars and the hearts and everything. That's that's my confession. If we're gonna have confession tonight, I really bought this more for the other little dies. And then the whirly part was just kind of like an added bonus. Okay, so what I've already done is you are going to need the spinner part. So I've pre-cut that out of another piece of the designer paper from the Hey Biggest Fan. And I think that's what it's called. And so I just ran that through. And it has a little hole there, and we'll show you what that hole is for. So that is that one. I've also pre-cut out some of the stars right here for here. So you can see I used these over here for that. And then I cut out a couple other things. But let's first do this. This here is for the front of your card. There's a lot of different ways you can do this. Some people don't use this piece and some people do. I'm not going to get into that tonight. We're going to go ahead and use it as it was intended. But there are some schools of thought about switching that up, and that would be maybe a different training for a different day. So what we're going to do is this hole here fits inside this little hole right here. Oh, I need the Big Daddy for this one. I was going to do it off camera, but I think it's important for you to see kind of how you put it on the machine. If that's too close, I'm so sorry. So first what you're going to do is, it is a landscape card. So we're going to, can you see that okay? We're going to fit that on here. I should have made my card base a little bit bigger. I realized after I cut it that I should have made it a little bit bigger. It doesn't matter if it's straight because it's just going to cut out the whole thing. And then I need my Post-it tape to hold all that down. You just need a little bit. Like I said, I reuse those. And this is going to squiggle because it's, oh gosh, I hope this works, because of course I'm doing it on camera. Nope, there we go. You'll feel it. It'll kind of snap into place. These are really cute. They just take some time to get used to doing. So you're going to cut that out. You're going to get your workout tonight. And as you can see, it's going to cut everything out, and it's going to give that stitching around the edge. I also stick these to my wall, or my little shelf in front of me. Oh, it didn't do it, you guys. Because you know why? I had it facing up. That's what happens when you're nervous and you're in front of people, right? All right, let's try it again. I'm so sorry. Like I said, I had a really rough day. My computer at work decided to delete my profile. And so all my settings, all my saved websites for work, all my passwords, they're all gone. So I'm kind of having a rough day. I probably should have like rescheduled, but this is important to me. So, and it pretty much actually just kept me going knowing I was coming on tonight. So thank you for your grace. I think we're all really good at doing that, giving it to each other nowadays, more so than ever. So we still have to cut through this because you have to put the whirl through all of the pieces. So again, note to self, put the cutting side down. All right, so there we have that. Now we can move on. And don't lose your little whirly pieces, because that would not be good. Okay, everything else is pre-cut. All right, so here's how we're going to assemble this. You are going to need, you guys, I'm going to cry here. Here we go. There we go. Just need a little hole in there. Okay, so if you can see on here, if you saw the wheel, there are 3, windows as it turns, right? So I've pre-cut with the piece here. And the tip here I wanted to show you is, again, Post-it tape. When you are cutting it out of a piece of paper, you're going to stamp first, and then you're going to put this over your stamped image, Post-it tape together, and tape it down. That's how you're going to get a perfectly lined up image. But you want to stamp first, line those up, sticky them down with some sticky or some washi tape, anything that's going to just kind of hold it in place. So that's my big tip for you on those little emblem dies. So I don't know if you can see with the glare of the camera, but there you can see the triangles. It leaves kind of like an imprint. So what I found is you just put your glue, or your adhesive, excuse me, and you're going to want to just center those in each of the triangle holes. You don't want a lot of glue because you don't want it to squish out, because then it'll stick to your mechanism as it's going. And like I said, I just used some white embossing powder and some Versamark to cut that out. And you want to make sure you use a good adhesive and get the corners down, because again, as you're turning it, you don't want it to get caught as it's coming around the corner, if that makes sense. Now, what you're going to do is not have adhesive here, so you have to be careful of that. Thank goodness that stuff kind of rolls up. Okay, so you're going to grab a brad, any one of them. I'm just going to use the little black one here. It's going to be hidden by the hat. So these are the round square brads. And you're going to poke it through here, through the hole. And then you're going to put the wheel on there. Okay. And then one of the tips I found online is you need to cut an extra circle, and it's the circle from the Give It a Whirl dies. It's the circle here. It cuts out, oh yeah, it cuts out the circle. It's for something else, but you just cut a hole, and I'll show you why. You need it to kind of give it so it doesn't stick to your project, and I'll show you that in just a second. So you're going to take that, and then you're going to take some dimensionals, and you're not going to take the top off. You're just going to leave the backing on there, and that way when you're turning it, it doesn't stick or flop to your backing. And then what you're, oh, this is what I forgot to do the other night when I was making my sample. Stamp your sentiment, because it's really hard to stamp it after you've put the foam adhesive strips on it. Trust me, that's why it has a little bit of a thicker spot there. So this is just to the guy that wears many hats. We're gonna stick that over here in the corner. It's a little crooked, but you know, it's homemade. Maybe they won't notice because they're too busy twirling the little gadget there. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to take the foam adhesive strips, which we sell, and they come with a ton of them in here, and they're big long strips. And again, you're going to want to see how it kind of overlaps. You want to just put your adhesive strips around the wheel, but not touching the wheel, if that makes sense. Where did I put my scissors? I had to scooch over on my desk so I could video, and so everything's a little out of place. So you're just going to add some foam adhesive strips all along here. Make sure again that it's not going to hit your wheel. You can always trim them down. Like I said, you get a ton in this little packet. You get 2 of these. I've had these forever. Probably longer than I should, like everything else, right? We're not just a hoarder of paper, we're a hoarder of all kinds of crafty things, right? All things crafty and stamping. Stampin' Up! Gets us good too. They know that when they take it away, we have to hurry up and buy it because it might never come back again. Okay, so now we're going to take the backing off of those. I need my garbage can over here. It's across on the other side of the table. Sadly, yes, a hoarder here, but a hoarder of good, pretty things, right, Barb? Yes, you love the wood background. Marcy, I do too. That birch background is really nice. I miss all my other big background stamps that they kind of got rid of. Okay, so then you're going to just adhere that to the front of the card. And there you can kind of see how it turns. Like I said, very important to glue down those edges. Now, while that's up, let's glue this. Now, the trick to this is you don't want to glue the side because you're going to, trust me, ask me how I know, you don't want glue on here because then it won't turn. So all you're going to do, and this is going to be kind of tricky, and part of it could be, well, no, actually, you could probably piece it, but you're going to want just a little bit of glue here at the top and just a little bit of glue here at the bottom. You could put, I put dimensionals, I think, on mine, but I think I want it flat because it's already so full or so puffy that you won't be able to get it in an envelope or mail it very easily. But you don't want to go up too high because, again, you have this piece. If you can kind of see when you turn it flat, so you want to make sure that it doesn't go through there. So you're going to cover up as much of this of the brown as you can. Now, the way I cut this one, I kind of cut it too far, but you can't see it very well. And there you go. So you have to be careful. I did something stuck there. Oh, this isn't, what in the world? So this isn't working very well, you guys. It goes, okay, this way. Nope, what did I do? Oh, see, I didn't glue the edge down very well. So it's getting caught. So you're gonna have to push that down. Pretend that worked, okay? It works when you glue it properly. See, there you go. It's just that one is stuck. So we're going to leave it on your number one fan. Just pretend it works. It works. Look, I made sure it worked before I did it. You just have to make sure you glue down those corners. And then all I just did was added a couple stars from the Whirly, Give It a Whirl. I don't know why I call them Whirly dies, but the Give It a Whirl dies. And you're just going to add them to your project. I like how they have the stitching. They're so cute. I like anything stitched, like most of us. It's kind of like a sucker for all of those. Hi, Lisa. Thank you. Thanks, Barb. We always see cards on Pinterest or on the demonstrator website, Planning Place, and we're like, how did they do that? Or we buy these things like the Give It a Whirl dies, and we're like, I don't know how to do it. It takes too much time to figure it out. Yeah, see, I'm going to have to go back and figure out how to glue that one corner piece down again. But there, it works when you glue those corners. So that's, that's the project I have. I did have one quick, simple one. You can do it really intricate like this, or you can do a very simple card. And this one is very simple. It's just, you're just taking a piece of, let's move these out of the way. You're going to take a piece of Just Jade cardstock. And it's what, 4 by 5 1/4. And your hat and your Night of Navy. But I need to have some, thanks, I'm glad you like it. Yeah, the wheel is great. I like how it does it. You could do that with so many different things, and the hat is great. It just takes some time to play around with it. And like I said, I'm kind of a little bit flustered today because of everything at work, but you know, when you're not having people watch you. So here we're just going to stamp the hat just a bunch of times. See, everything doesn't have to be so intricate. We always have to, you know, make our cards look impressive. At least that's how I feel. You know, people know you make cards, so they're like, oh, what's she going to come up with next? And so the pressure is on, right? And then we're going to stamp the number 1. So here's the number 1. And again, the stamp has those little points. It's perfect. It just sits right in there. And they have your guides right there for you. Oh, here, we can even do this little one over here, but I don't think you're going to see it from what I got. And you're going to mat it on another piece of cardstock that's 4 1/8. I couldn't find my adhesive and it was right in front of me. The wheel goes great with that saying. Yeah, the wheel does go great with that saying. So you're going to just mat that on a piece of navy. I have a really, really thin piece. And then on a piece of white. And it's just so simple, and it's still pretty fun and striking, right? So now we're going to do our words. My other ones aren't this, and the rest of them this week aren't quite so involved as that hat, the Give It a Whirl one. That one I just had to figure out. Everything else, I'm really excited about the other projects we have. Tomorrow I'm going to go live again at 7. And so that's Tuesday. And then Wednesday and Thursday I'm going to be having to record, so they will be recorded and posted. I can't find my plate, you guys. Oh, they're right in front of me. So I'm gonna have them. I'll post what time. I haven't decided what time. I don't know if you guys want to have them earlier in the day so you can watch them whenever. We can certainly do that. Like what, 10 o'clock our time or 9 o'clock. So for Wednesday, Thursday will be recorded, and then Friday I'm gonna go live at 6:30. It's my dad's birthday, so we're doing a family Zoom, and so I have to be done earlier. So these are just the Tasteful Labels, my favorite dies. These have gotten lots of use, unlike some of the other ones we saw tonight. And I like these 2 labels. And this is just a quick and simple, again, it doesn't have to be, it can be in your favorite sports team, your school colors. Because it could be a guy, it could be for a kid, a boy, a son, and it could be for a dad, a grandpa, a coach, a teacher, anybody in your life that, you know, does a lot of things for a lot of people. See, look at this one goes, it's going a lot faster. I like to layer my labels. And there, just another quick and simple one. Doesn't have to be fancy, right? You can actually put it up a little higher, put a ribbon or something in there. Stamp the little number 1 again. But there's your cards for tonight. I hope you like them. I didn't make a sample. This one was just I saw and came up with on the fly. So very simple and very involved. So there's your 2 choices for tonight. I hope you like them. Tomorrow we're going to switch gears and do some feminine cards. I'm really excited about those. I have 2 projects again to show you tomorrow, and I think you're going to really like them. So thank you. I'm glad you like this. Yeah, this Just Jade and Night of Navy are a great combination. We're going to use that combination again later this week. So thank you so much, everyone, for your time. I hope you have a nice evening and a good rest of your week as we continue learning about the Hats Off bundle. Talk to you tomorrow, 7 p.m. And I'll make sure I post those. And I'll post the projects and the supplies I used as well. So, all right, we'll talk with you later. Bye.